Okay, 5.2, Adaptations to Different Environments. This is one of the two fun sheets that we'll actually do over this standard. Okay, so looking at that standard, first we're going to talk about what the different environments are. So the first word we have to define on our fun sheet is biome. Biome is an area characterized by climate. Okay, and when we talk about climate, we're talking about temperature and precipitation. Okay, all right. Now, you also need to know that in a biome, it's the climate that determines what type of plants and animals are found within that area. The first biome we're going to talk about here is the desert. Okay, this chart down here that you see to the right of the picture actually shows the amount of precipitation within each biome. So I want you to take your pencil and draw an arrow, okay, to this bar. All right. This is how much precipitation is in the desert. Now you can see compared to other biomes, it is a very small amount. Okay. So now to the right-hand side, using bullets, I want us to take some notes also on the desert. Okay, it is extremely dry. Okay, and as you could see from the chart where the graph, that we just pointed arrows to, not very much precipitation. Okay, it has hot days and cold nights. Okay. It's very extreme, from very hot to very cold, okay? And also, plants have spines instead of leaves, okay? So here's your desert. All right, the next biome we want to talk about is grassland, okay? On this one, as well, I want you to do your arrows, and it's supposed to be the second one here, okay? All right. From the top and the bottom. Now let's define some characteristics of a grassland. All right. A grassland has limited rain. It lacks tall trees. And also it's made of different grasses, and occasionally there's some small shrubs. Alright, next we want to do a tropical rainforest. Okay, we're going to look at it. Alright, and it's the middle bar. Make your arrows. This is the amount of precipitation, okay, that you have in a rainforest. Alright, now let's define some characteristics of a rainforest. Alright, warm temperatures. Lots of rain, okay, as you see in the graphic below. And one of the greatest thing about the tropical rainforest is it has the greatest amount of biodiversity of plant and animal life. So it has the biggest variety of plants and animals that there is anywhere on the face of the planet. Okay, so the next one we want to look at is the Coniferous Forest, also known as the taiga or taiga. I say it different every time I say it, so. Alright. Draw your arrows to look at the precipitation. Now let's define some characteristics. Alright, there is cold, snowy winters. Okay, there is mild summers. Okay, there's tall evergreens. Okay, and those tall evergreens have those waxy, they're the needle trees. Okay, needles, and they also have seeds in cones. Okay. So what we refer to as these are your conifers. Hence, Coniferous Forest. Okay. Or taiga. All right. Next. Oh, before we flip on this front page, I want you to find a biome that maybe you've never visited, but you would like to visit out of these four. Pick one that you may, pick one that you've never been to, and then put a smiley face to the left-hand side of it. Put a smiley face to the left-hand side of the one you would like to visit. All right. The next one that we have that we're going to talk about is the Temperate Deciduous Forest. This should look very familiar to you. Okay, put your arrows underneath your chart. Okay, so that you're sure you can visually see this one is the Temperate Deciduous Forest. This should look familiar because this is where you live. All right. So there's 4 seasons, and you know we're getting ready to come up on fall. Okay, and then we have winter, and then we have spring, and then we have summer. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about having 4 seasons. Okay, there's a wide range of temperatures and precipitation. Okay, all right. Next, one thing you need to know, and we're getting ready to have this season, is that trees lose their leaves, okay, in a temperate deciduous forest. During the cooler temps, okay, and for us, for example, this would be this coming fall, our leaves will die and fall to the ground, and we'll learn more about why in our next fun sheet. Okay, so next we have is the tundra. Okay, I want you to take your pen or pencil, excuse me, and make sure you draw 2 arrows going to the amount of precipitation in the tundra. All right, now let's define some characteristics of the tundra. Okay, it is extremely cold. All right, it's dry. As you can see from our graphic, it has long winters and very short summer. Okay. There's a layer of frozen soil called permafrost. Okay. So here are some of the main characteristics. Now for the do section, we're actually going to watch a very quick video clip, and there's some questions here for you to answer. I want you to be sure that after the video that you listen, because I will give you one more direction as to something to mark on your paper. Also, go back to the Temperate Deciduous Forest, because that's where we live, and put a star beside the Temperate Deciduous Forest. Put a star beside the Temperate Deciduous Forest. Answer the questions as you watch the video.
Better understand our world, biologists have divided it into 6 biomes. Biomes are areas of land sharing similar characteristics. These characteristics might include similar weather, temperature, types of plant life, etc. These 6 biomes are tundra, desert, grassland, tropical rainforest, deciduous forest, and coniferous forest. It is not always clear where one biome ends and another begins. For example, it may not be clear where a grassland ends and a forest begins. Biomes in one part of the earth are similar, but not identical to other biomes of the same type in another part of the world. Not all deserts are the same. Likewise, not all rainforests are the same. Tundra biomes can be found throughout North America and Asia circling the Arctic Ocean. Tundra biomes average less than 25 centimeters of rain and snow each year. This moisture ends up in a layer of permanent frost called the permafrost. Permafrost never thaws in the summer. Surface snow melts, creating pools of water, which are used by many plants and animals. During this short warm season, the tundra comes to life with flowers, insects, birds, and other animals. Within just a few short months, summer ends, ushering in a long, harsh, cold winter. Further south are coniferous forest biomes, often called taiga biomes. These biomes are made up of several different kinds of evergreen trees called conifers. These giant trees are hardy, and are able to endure the cold winters and poor soil conditions found here. The coniferous forest biomes have many interesting plants and animals, including moose, deer, beaver, birds, and other animals. Further south are deciduous forest biomes. These forests cover much of the eastern United States and most of Europe. In order for a deciduous forest to thrive, there must be an average of about 75 centimeters of rain per year. At the end of a long warm summer, the trees of a deciduous forest shed their leaves. As a result, the ground is covered in a layer of old and decaying leaves. The soil of a deciduous forest is rich and full of nutrients. Near the equator are tropical rainforest biomes. These biomes receive a large amount of rainfall. Almost half of all living things on Earth can be found living inside these amazing habitats. Grassland biomes support both large and small grazing animals, as well as the carnivorous animals who feed on them. From the large African elephant to the tiny field mouse, lions, giraffes, hippopotamuses, and crocodiles. North American grasslands have herds of American bison, antelope, deer, a variety of bird life, cougars, and bobcats. Because desert biomes receive little rain, plants and animals have become specialized to survive with almost no water. Camels have evolved unique techniques of storing large amounts of water within their bodies. Cactus and other desert plants have adapted by storing water within them. Desert soil is nutrient poor. This poor soil and lack of water means the desert biomes have few plants.
Now, at the bottom right-hand corner, if you have Mrs. Brule's at the back, on the back sheet, put a B, and if you have Mrs. Gunner, put a G. This is your one of two fun sheets for Adaptations to Different Environments 5.2.